Y'all, right now at the moment we're just hanging out, relaxing and all that, but if you guys are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber or moderator who's been in my lives previously, welcome back. Please be sure to hit the like button up here and down below. And also hit the subscribe button down below, plus the notification bell, and be sure you guys set that to all notifications so you get all updates on everything that revolves around this channel that you might not want to miss out on. And so, anyway, um, yeah, but that's what's going on there. But uh, and all of it. But sorry, my arm hurts so bad, y'all. So don't mind that. But hopefully everyone's day though has been going good and was good on this Tuesday though. Um, my day was pretty good. All I did today was I had a doctor's appointment this afternoon for my usual for my physical. But yeah, I had a doctor's appointment for my annual checkup just to make sure I'm doing good on everything. And I wasn't. I also addressed some stuff that I personally have noticed. Just wanted to get it off, wanted to get it off me in some sort of way. And so it's good to address when you know something needs to be looked at or looked into, or see if you can do anything to manage some of it. And so, um, like as an example, as like for example, some of you who um have been around since I started streaming, or since I've done content, or if you're new here, a little, I'll say it too. Um, I have I have epilepsy, and if anyone's new here on my channel, and you don't know about like medical condition, epilepsy is a narrow brain disorder where the electrical waves and all the electrical system in the brain responds non-functionally, and it causes me to have seizures that can get chaotically crazy sometimes. And so a lot of the times I'm having to, back then I had to literally, I mean, you know, like back in the day when I was a lot younger, when I was, because, I've been diagnosed ever since I was born. And what we were doing was doing our best to try to find things to manage it somehow to where my life wouldn't be painful, but it could be a life that I would want to live and not have to suffer through, you know? And so, um, yeah. And so anyway, um, yeah, but yeah, I've had this ever since I was like a few months old, I would say. Um, but and so one of the things is, and even I was on medication, I've been on medication ever since to control my seizures and have a chance at living. But also when I was almost two, so a month away before I was two, we decided to go and we decided to do an intense brain surgery just to save my life and have chances at me living pain free. And I will say this, you guys, this was all like 18 or so years ago, I think, from when I last looked at the math. It's been at least 18ish years or so, or at least almost 19 years, which is crazy to believe that, y'all. But God's good for every season. out there. But yeah, and so basically, um, yeah, and out of everything you can think of, that was like one of the main ways that we were able to at least help my seizures be less chaotic and all that, to where it could be manageable and you're not having to question every thought every 5 minutes on thinking, what's her life gonna look like in 5 years? What's it gonna look like in 10, 20? You name it. Can she do this? Can she, what all the things you think of? And with that surgery, it helped a lot. And for those of you that also want to know what that was, it was a brain surgery where they removed most, I mean most, of like the right side of my brain just to control my seizures and have a chance at living. Yo, I'm proud. I am proud to this day to say that 20 years later, I'm a freaking grown adult. I'm standing. At one point, they did say that there could be chances that I might not be able to walk, talk, speak, do things you think of, or really, I couldn't really do anything that people my age would be doing. And y'all, 20 years later, I'm 20, almost 21 years old, and I am standing, I'm walking, I'm talking, I am making friends. I graduated high school 2 years ago, aka I was class of 24, and I also have a boyfriend who's been amazing to me and just loves me, and I've been making a lot of friends and in my area, but also just living. I'm just living out my days like anyone would. There's no endless judgment. There's no endless thought of my sentence coming whatsoever. And that is literally because God is good like that. He knows what to do. He knows who and where and when it's happening. And he knows what's best for everyone. And so in that moment, he knew that me doing that had chances at my life being a lot more pain free than me just suffering. And because y'all imagine if I didn't do that back then, imagine what it would look like right now. I probably would literally be feeling like just crap, and I just be questioning myself every day, being like, why do I go through this every day? And I mean, right now, the only thing that really does make me kind of crazy is I do get side effects from that surgery, mainly, but it's mainly because of my meds. But my meds work seizure-wise, I'll say that. It's just this additional side effects make me crazy. And at first, a couple years ago was when I really noticed it becoming really alarming to me. I'm like, you know what? Let me just monitor and watch it and see if, because something about me, for those of you on here, I'm not the person who jumps to conclusions right away. I'm someone who goes, okay, let me watch this and monitor it myself and see if it gets to a point where it's getting too much. Because y'all, we can handle so much that, you know, we know when it's time to address it. And so I'm like, you know what? At that point, I was like, you know what? This year's gonna be the year that I address it, because also, y'all, some of you that are new here that I'm seeing in the comment section right now, I found out May 1st that I finally have a job after 4 years. And so, um, and I eventually soon, when I get the paperwork done tomorrow to figure out next to find out my next steps for when I go into orientation, but also when I start and all that, and all the information to it. Um, but, um, yeah, and so, um, and the thing is, yo, I don't want to be that one coworker out of like 100 of adults and all that, and I don't want to be that one coworker out of everyone that complains in their head about something, even if it's medical. And I can't control it half the time. The only thing I can do right now is manage it the best I can and just, just live it out, you know? But I mean, today I even addressed that at my doctor's appointment because one of the steps when I was at my neurologist appointment a couple weeks back, um, and I was talking with him too, and he at first said, because at first his thoughts could be that it might be the way my bloodstream's reacting to it as well, to maybe one of my meds or both my meds I take. And so, oh, Garth, I see you're one of my people in the chat. Welcome back. How are you doing? I, I do need to look at the comments here in a few minutes, but I'm gonna finish what I'm saying quick and then I'm gonna read the chat before y'all look at me and think I'm crazy. But that's what I mean. I talk for a good minute or so, and then I read the chat, and then I keep going. And don't worry, y'all, this is just Italian. Um, and so, um, yeah, and so kind of his first suggestion was at first, for at least the first part, and he was like, kind of what he was telling me was, he was like, so something you can probably do is when you go for, when you go to your primary care for your annual and all that, and when you make an appointment for your annual, there, have them test your labs and see if there's something abnormal or, all the safe stuff to do just to check it, just to make sure. Because it could be something within the within the bloodstream, or it could be something around it. And, it's always good to check off the boxes, so that way you might not be missing something that you think, oh, is it this? Is it this causing it? Or do you think it's, you know, and it's just good to check all those off and see if, okay, this is good. You keep going until you might find something, you know? And so, yeah, and so even today during my appointment, I went and did blood work too. And of course, I feel like that went well, like it usually would go. But of course, my arm does hurt a bit because, y'all, when you get pricked like that, it does hurt afterward, just for a little bit. But I mean, I will say though, y'all, I'm actually pretty shocked that actually today when I went and got my blood work done, I was actually speechless that when the needle went directly in, I'm actually shocked that it didn't hurt as much as I was thinking it would. And y'all, something about me is I also do have sensory issues, and so so for example, if I'm having to get shots or blood work, stuff like that done, for me, I have to have something in my hand squeezing, whether if it's a um, whether if it's a squishy of some sort, whether if it's one of those like medium, like almost like either stress balls or squeeze balls that you can get off like Amazon or even at Walmart. And actually, I've done it like twice, and actually, it helped a bunch, which I need to look on Amazon for one of those because I definitely need to start using one of those for my appointments and all that. Because, oh, I'm seeing it helping with that a lot. And so, and even for example, like if I have, when I go for like dentist appointments and all that, I have to do that with x-rays, y'all, because I have severe gag reflex issues. Like, I have severe gag reflex when it comes to x-rays. And y'all do not want to see me in that moment. I'll just warn y'all now. And so, Liam, welcome back. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I actually need to look at the chat here in a minute. Because editors are saying stuff that I see to read through it. But, um, hopefully you're doing well. But, yeah. That's good. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. But yeah. So yeah, blood work and all that went well. And then after that, y'all, I'll tell you, it was raining over here. And y'all, okay, y'all should actually have seen me running out of the doctor's office today. Like, I literally was literally trying to sprint dart to the car because I was like, ew, it was like downpouring. By the time I came out of my doctor's appointment today, it was crazy. I literally went after everything and all that. I mean, y'all should have seen me just trying to get in the car before everything got wet. you know. Anyway, let me look through the chat too. So give me just a minute. I'm gonna try to read head to toe. Sarah, I think you're new, so welcome. Um, let's see. Path, I think you're returning, but I can't remember. You're new or returning, but welcome. I'll say that again because I can't tell. But um, oh gosh, how do I say your name without butchering it? Uh, I'll just say Sime because that's what some of my eyes are reading. Welcome. Until you know a name, I can just call you out of. Sarah, I hope you get better. Thanks, Sarah. It's my own disability, but epilepsy's not something that's short term. I kind of wish it was, but it wasn't. But it's not. But side effects are the one thing that is decent and all that. All right, then. I'm sorry. I hope you get better soon. You're amazing and doing a really hard thing. Oh, wow. Sarah, I'm about to start happy crying from what you just said. I'm just reading because I'm just looking back at my comments. Thanks. I'll tell you, I mean, you really should be thanking younger me back then for doing that. Because a lot of that was her and all the things. Let's see here. Okay, personally, I'm playing it. I'm not doing it right now since it's just me. I'll do this. I'll put it. There you go. I'm gonna put that person time on actually is what we're gonna do. Let's see. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope. the rest of your day. You're pushing through the hard stuff. Thanks. I very appreciate it. Valentina, I saw your comment when you came in. Welcome. I can tell your name, I think. Garf, I saw you coming in. I'm just looking through their comments, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, I saw that one. Okay. Okay, sorry you guys. I was looking through my comment section. Catching up. How you doing well, Liam? Oh, really, Liam? That's okay. You don't have to say if you don't want to, which is totally okay. I'm not putting you on the spot like that. Trust me. A lot of us go through a bunch of things. Okay, now we're caught up to date with the comment section. Um, um, hey there, Christopher. I see you're in here. I think you're new, so welcome. Um, Piper, welcome. I can tell that you're new. Um, what did I say your name of me? Georgina, that's a cool name. I see that you're new too, so welcome. But yeah, Piper, I can see that you're new as well, so welcome. Alright, now I'm caught up with the chat for a good few minutes. So, Y'all feel free to ask questions down below, just don't be inappropriate. It's all they recommend with all that, just for safety purposes. Because I don't want to have to play victim with blocking people, which I put one person on due to their circumstance. Just giving them a little bit and all that, you know? So, and of course, actually, let me stand up. Oh, my freaking arm. Ugh. Let me turn my internet off real quick because I already have this lamp behind me on that I usually. Sorry, y'all. I was turning that off so that way I can come over here to my other lane. Anyway. Ow. God, hang on, y'all. But, y'all, that's usually what happens when you get blower done. And I do not like the pain of it, but I mean, the best part is it's on my left arm and not my right because I'm mainly right-handed for most things half the time, so usually I prefer left with anything needle-based because then that way I don't have to worry about a whole lot of motion happening. You know, I don't have to worry about doing a whole lot of heavy motion stuff with with my left hand with anything, honestly. Oh, only one more hour till my wife gets out of work. But yeah. Yo, let's go. 5 people like the live. I very appreciate it to those of you who have been tapping. That really helps me out for sure, and it definitely helps out with the algorithm and all that. So, um, yeah. But anyway, right now I'm just relaxing, hanging out, and yeah. For those of you that are in here, I got blood work done today because I was at a doctor's appointment today just for my regular annual, and I also went and dressed. I had to dress some stuff. Just a couple of quick little things that I've noticed and just playing on the safe side and not trying to wait further. And so one of the things I had to do was I had to have them test my blood for because some of y'all know that I have been an epileptic for 20 years at this point, aka ever since I was born. And one of the things y'all with epilepsy is when you're on medication, when you're on anti-seizure meds, and not all meds, but some meds and all that, some medications can have you can get some side effects like dizzy spells and headaches from them. And y'all, for example, with me, for at least a couple of years at least for me, I have had a good bit. There'll be some days, not always every day, but either every other day or every now and then I'll get dizzy episodes is also another word of saying it too, so that way it's also easier to say to some of you. And so I get dizzy episodes and I also get really bad headaches um just because of it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna monitor it myself and just see if it progresses enough to where it really makes me nuts and want to, I don't know, just really go crazy on myself, which I'm not gonna. And so this year I was like, you know what? This year's the year I'm gonna address it because, y'all, with me now having a job now at this point, because I found out literally this month, like the start of the month, that I finally had a job after 4 long years of waiting for this to happen. And yeah. So, um, yeah. And that's one of those things, y'all, where when you know it's getting to a point where either you know you have stuff that you do that might affect some of it long term or short term, but you want to play it safe and just see if there's things you can do to manage it to where maybe when you are working, it's not gonna be too affected, but also you're not gonna be that one coworker out of like 100 people or even more, you know? And y'all, I'm not trying to look like that coworker. Honestly, I'm not trying to look like that person that shows up to work almost for my days at work and look like I am look like I'm ill, but I'm not. And I just try to not act like I'm showing up when really I can't control my side effects because it comes out of nowhere. Even though I can sense when they start, still, that does not mean that I cannot control head to toe everything. And so I'm like, you know what? And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask my doctor and some stuff and see if there's either other causes towards it or just seeing what else I can do. Because for reference, hill, I've went and tried vitamin D supplements at first, but for only one part of it, and it's doing nothing. Honestly, like it does not even that harm. And what the heck? And honestly, what's the point of literally trying to do that? A lot of us can get that frustration for any cause. And so it's just good to always be aware and just on the loop of stuff, you know? And so, um, dang arm hurts. But yeah, so anyway, um, yeah, but, um, yeah, we're just relaxing though, y'all. So feel free to ask questions about anything down below. Just don't be inappropriate about it. That's just all I ask with anyone, just for safety reasons. Be great. Because I don't want to have to play victim to somebody. I really don't, you know? Because, y'all, my job should. Let me just say this. My only job on here should only have to be is talking with you guys, answering questions, and having fun. And only have my mods help out with the rest. Because, I don't want to be the one person that's doing like multiple responsibilities all at once, and I'm the only one doing it. And that's just a lot to handle on my own, you know? And it's good. It's always good to have others helping you out too and all that. Hey there. Yes, I'm definitely gonna give you a shout out for being new here, so welcome. But yeah. Yo, let's go. 6 likes in the chat. Definitely keep tapping that like button if you haven't already. And if you're new here, please be sure to hit the like button plus subscribe button down below. And set the notification bell to all notifications so you are updated head to toe on everything that you might not want to miss out on. Because I definitely need to get back in swing of putting stuff out. You know? What is. Oh, we're just hanging out. It's like a hangout live. You can ask me questions. You can just, hang out. And it's good to ask questions because then you get to know me pretty well and others on here pretty well too. and all that. Just all I say with questions is don't ask anything inappropriate or judgmental or anything politic based, just for safety. Because, I don't want any chaos happening. I just don't. Hey there, um, Felon. I'm gonna call you that because that's what I read first part of your name. So welcome. Oh, and look at that. There's a question right in front of me. Pink is my favorite color to answer your question, though. That's a good question to kick off on here with. Let's see. Who else? But yeah. So, goodness, I'm gonna have to, redo this braid. Oh, and it's only about 35 more minutes until my boyfriend gets off work. For him. And yes, for you guys that are new here, I am also taken, so please, for my men in the comment section, do not try to flirt with me, would be great. And so, um, sorry, I'm taking my braid out just to kind of give it a break. Because it's really been in a braid ever since I was at my appointment, because at one point I knew it was going to make me nuts with it just being in a regular ponytail. But, yeah. What, ooh, that's a good question too. Hmm, what is my favorite movie? Um, oh gosh. Out of all movies I've watched, what is like my favorite album? Okay, that's a hard one. I mean, I'll probably say, oh God, I probably would say my favorite movie overall is probably The Summer I Turned Pretty. For anyone who's not listened to that movie though, but it's also a show. Oh, y'all, it's so good. If anyone here is 16 plus, I swear it's so good. Especially if you're into a little bit of romance stuff, like myself. But there's a lot of good stuff though out there. But um, but then also, if I also switched that question around too and said my favorite Disney movie though, it's the new Aladdin, which is so good too. And so, um, yeah. Why isn't the world? Why isn't the world a star? Hmm. And because all the different places it should be a star. Hmm. Good point. It's a very good point. Y'all, let's go 8 likes in the chat. Y'all are killing the chat, which is awesome. So a big shout out to those of you that are doing it, which I really appreciate it a lot for what you guys do. But yeah, I think because of it was a circle, it can go around around to different places. Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that being a point, you know. So yeah, just a bit, just so that way it's easier to see much happening quicker. Okay, but yeah, do you like reading? That's a good question. Um, I It's probably a 50-50. It kind of just depends on what I'm reading exactly. Like, if I'm reading maybe a good book that I like, okay, yes, I would. Or if I'm reading, for example, the Bible, obviously, because y'all, you've got to be reading your Bible somewhat every day, or try to put the effort into doing at least some of it every day, you know? But yeah, like I said, it's really a 50-50. It's just depending on what I'm reading on that day. Or if it's a devotional of some kind, then yes, you know? Yeah, so sometimes there's some people that like reading, some people don't, which is okay. I'm kind of a 50, like I said, I'm in the middle. Like, I'm not a direct no, but I'm also not a direct yes either. It really just depends on the day. You know, honestly, I don't know. Um, but oh, they're going out showing too. Yeah, it can be more than one person here. Sometimes it might just take a minute to show above and all that with numbers and all that. So yeah, but yeah, to answer that question, it's really in the middle and all that. But it also does do a little bit of a also do some facts about me for those of you that are new here. I am Maddie Thomas, aka Sunset Queen on this channel. Um, I live in the US. I am only 5'3". Um, I am taken, so all the men in this comments, don't you come for me. I swear, don't. Because I really don't want to have to be playing the victim today. I really don't. And so, I am a 20-year epileptic survivor. And I also love the Lord. And just, you know. And also for zodiac sign purposes, I am also a Libra, for those that wonder as well. And so, um, yeah, so that's a little bit about me to give you all a little bit of an insight into it. Oh, really? That's cool. When, when's your birthday then? Because you've got to be within, like, late September to October, like I am. Like, you've got to be within my range, at least. Which is pretty cool. That's cool. Oh, okay, you're like, let me think, you're about, I think 2 or 3 before me, after me. That's crazy. That's cool. Nice. Let's see, that's so cool. I'm October 1st. I literally kick off the month, y'all. Yeah, so I'm like a couple days after you are. That's so cool though. That's neat. Oh, and also a little fun fact too, speaking of my birthday. Um, I literally have the same birthday as one of my dogs who, or really, I really should be saying my childhood dog who ended up passing away this January. It's kind of hard, honestly, to start my head around it, but he was such an amazing dog, which his name was Maverick, and and also for breed purposes, he was a Shih Tzu. He was like the best dog that an owner can ask for because I'll tell you, um, he would literally would be like he was literally the best dog ever. Like he was that type of dog where if family, friends, neighbors or anyone outside of that were to come over, he would be so like he would literally would greet you, but also he would for some people at least, not everyone, but at least some people, he would sit with them or sit on their lap or want to be in there or want to be with them, which was always really cute. Like with my papa on my dad's side, he and him both, they were like best friends. Just like me and him were best friends. Like he would always would sit on my papa's lap and they would just hang out. And it was like the coolest thing ever. And with Maverick, oh gosh, y'all, there's so many good memories of us that I can just reflect on. But um yeah, he was just like the best dog that you would think to ever have and wish to have. And even he would cuddle with me a bunch and all the things. And y'all, this dog was literally my childhood dog. Like I have had him since I was like 7. So, aka I've had him for like 13 years of his life. But he was only 12. I think he was only 12 when he passed, or he might have been directly 13. I think he might have been actually 13, I think. Either 13 or 12 when he died. But, um, yeah, it's crazy to believe. And so, um, yeah, it was really, and y'all, I mean, and also to kind of give you guys a little bit of context too, the week before his passing, he had at one point had to be rushed into the vet because he did not seem like he was doing the best. And we thought he had, I thought, well, at least we thought he only had to, he originally was going to be there for about until like at least a Saturday, which was like, I need to look back. I think it was like January something. But he was supposed to be back on like a Saturday, but then it switched to a Friday if everything was good, but then it plot twisted to Thursday because let's just say he decided to take out his own IV. And so what they did was they were like, you know what? They at that point were like, you know what? We'll discharge him, and what they were like was bring him back on Monday just to check on him, just to see how he's doing and all that, and see and just check on him physically. And let's just say this Monday, so that Monday, which was January 12th, little did I know little did I know I was gonna wake up to the news I dreaded to not think to hear, but also dreaded because I mean, at some point I knew his time was like soon eventually, but I didn't think it was that quick. I really didn't. And so, um, yeah, so January 12th of this year, literally, I woke up to my dad telling, well, I went and asked my dad because I couldn't find him because I didn't think that he passed that day. But, and I went and asked my dad on how he was and all that. And little did I know, my dad told me the words that unfortunately he passed at the vet. And y'all, this dog was everything to me. Like, he was literally my childhood dog. And I'm surprised this dog actually lived from my kid years to my, like, all parts of my life, honestly. Like, he literally lived from when I was 7 and he was a good few months old all the way through when I was 20, aka now. And he was like at least 13, I think. At least 13, 12. I think he was 13 though, I think, directly. Or almost 13 directly. But yeah, it's crazy. And so, yeah, it's sad. But, you know, God literally has exact times and he knows when their time's next. And when ours is too. But I'll show you guys a pic of him actually so you guys can see. So hang on, give me just a moment to. Ugh, my freaking armor, it's so bad. But let me just get a pic of him so I can show you real quick. So give me just a moment to pull up. I'm gonna pull up a good pic of him, honestly. But, sorry, let me just move you guys this way. There we go, that way you guys can see it clearer. But, this is what he looks like. Um, this was like a few months back, or at least part of last year. At one point, because he decided to come in with me at one point, and y'all, he was the best dog that you could ever ask for. Yeah. And y'all to kind of give you guys a little bit of a fun fact about Maverick. His name hit the owner, the person who had Maverick before we did. He actually got named Maverick after Top Gun Maverick because I guess the owner who the person who originally had Maverick before we did, I guess he had another friend there named Goose, aka Goose and Maverick, literally from Top Gun. And I mean, yeah, I've kind of watched Top Gun a little bit, but not like a lot to really know about it. I remember one year specifically, one of my cousins, um, asked my dad, I think either it was on or something, and he wanted to watch, and I was like, and it was pretty cool, and I kind of watched some of it. It was interesting and all that. And I can't remember if it was when the new Top Gun was out or if it was when the old one was out. I think it might have been when I don't remember honestly, but anyway, yeah, but yeah, he got named literally right after the movie Top Gun Maverick, which and his name spelling is Maverick. Maverick. But he was such a good dog though, and I'll show you a couple other pics too of him. 'Cause I do have a few more of him too, just to show you guys different perspectives. So hang on. Then here's another photo of him. This was when his hair was like all crazy though, but he's still cute regardless. But he's literally the best dog ever, y'all. And then, what other good pic of him do I have? Oh, here's a pic. Fun fact, this was Maverick when he was a lot younger. Like, he was, like, younger than what y'all see now. Like, y'all, he was, um, that dog where he was lighter when he was born, and then was darker as he got older. I actually have two Shih Tzus, and so I in my second Shih Tzu, I have her name's Baby, and she was the complete opposite. She was dark to light and not light to dark like Maverick. So it literally went flipped. Maverick went from light to dark. Baby went from dark to light, which is pretty crazy to think about. And then here's another one of him too. This is also when he, I think, got groomed on this day, I think. But yeah, so there's some pics of him so you guys can kind of get a little bit of an idea of him. But he was, I swear y'all, he was like the best dog that anyone would even want to think of having. Oh, and then I'll show you guys a picture of my second Shih Tzu I have when she's still alive right now. And I think I need to look. I think she's either 7 or 8. I think. So hang on. Wait, let me hold on because it's I'll kind of come down here because some of them. Wait, I need to go all the way up. So I'm just trying to. Only 14 more minutes until my boyfriend gets off work. Let's see. Um, I'll pull one of her. Okay, you kind of see her a little bit, but I'll show you another pic of her too. But this is Baby, and it's a girl, but she's really cute. Um, like I said, I think I think she's only about, I think 7 or 8. I think she's under 7 or 8 years old. I think for her age. I know she's got a birthday coming up soon, in like the next month, and so I need to look and see. But I think I want to believe 7 or 8, anywhere between 7 to 8 years old, and um, she is such a cute dog too. She's kind of like my child. So, as an example of that, she's one of those dogs where if it's storming like crazy, she is scared when it comes to storms, like rain and all that. And something we do is I bring her into my room and I put her under my bed. So I sit in my bed, I put her to where I have my blankets over her and myself mainly, and just kind of just cuddle with her under the blankets just to help her calm down from the storm, because that's kind of like her little safe spot. Like, I actually had to do it earlier today because the storms were being hectic. Like, as soon as I got back from my doctor's appointment, I went and directly got her and all that. Then let me look up some more efforts you can. Here's another one, but y'all, this was her when she was like groomed. Like, y'all, this was like a couple weeks back when she came home from the groomers, and y'all, I'll tell you, she looks cute with these little bows on, but y'all, she's one of those dogs that really does not like really wearing stuff like that, like permanently. Like some dogs like wearing stuff like that, but she's one of those that is a hate. Not really of a dog, but she's so cute though. And then another pic to show you as well, so you can see different perspectives. And then this one of her, I have. Fun fact, my boyfriend actually took this one of me. It was literally because at one point I was holding her at one point, just in general. And AJ literally saw how cute, which that's his name by the way. My boyfriend saw how cute she was with me, and so I think he was that, or he was trying to show his brother a pic of her. And Lily, I had it with me. It was so cute. But look at her. Hang on, I'll check the comment here in just a second. There. But um but yeah, that's baby though in this corner too. And fun fact, that's me. Lily. Just looking like any one of us would. But yeah, my boyfriend really took this pic of me though, y'all. Of me and her. So cute. But I mean, yeah, actually, I will show you guys a pic of him too later as well. Let me see if I've got any other. Oh, here's another pic of Maverick, actually. Y'all, fun fact, this was one of my younger pictures with me and him. I forgot what year this was, but this was when he was still a lot younger and I was a lot younger. But one day, it was like raining outside and I had the umbrella and he was out, and one of my parents so happened to get this picture of us two, of he and I just hanging out in the rain. And y'all, that's crazy to look back, knowing that that was me a long time ago. And I'm now 20, and he's already passed, which is crazy. But um, yeah. And then let me see. I think I do have a couple other pics of baby from. Oh, here's this pic of baby, y'all. She's so cute, but also parts of her look crazy because of how funny she was looking at one point. But this is another pic of her too. Um, but yeah, she was so cute though. And so let me look at my comments and just to read stuff here. About 8 more minutes until my boyfriend gets off work. Let's see here. I'm back. Alright, let me see. Yes, he is cute. Yeah. Wow. I know. Did I spell his name right? Let me look it up. Um, no, Maverick's name is spelled Maverick. Maverick is how his name is spelled, but you did pretty well getting close though to it. But yeah, that's also some pics of baby as well for those of you that also want to see her as well. But yeah, like I said, baby is about like, I think like I said, she's either 7 or 8. I think she's possibly 7 or 8 years old. I think this year. Or my dad's being crazy next door. Yeah, we all have a dad that's crazy like that. Sorry, my dad just burnt in the background. I'm just hearing it. But again, y'all, we all know how dads can be out there. And so, um, but yeah, those are pics of baby and Maverick as well. So you guys get a little bit of the behind the scenes of them. How do you check how do you check what the other lines were? What we're doing? How do you check what the other lines were? doing? Is it not fun? Hmm. Alright, I see that you're back. I'm trying to think who else I'm seeing. The other live were doing. Is it not fun there? Um, I checked what the other live were doing. It is not fun. They were yelling at people up. Oh, holy God. First of all, that's really stupid. Because they really shouldn't be yelling at others. Honestly. Unless it's somebody did stupid harm to word and made them lose their cool. Then that's a different story there, but other than that, mm, um, I mean, first of all, you know, or else they're gonna look like me yesterday with a couple of my friends, but more of other stuff. Somebody was sending this guy friend chicken on his lap. In the world? That's crazy. I swear, people are crazy these days. Like, I don't know what their brains are doing, but they're on something. I swear. So I was trying to light up. It took me a waste. I guys had it at one the moment, but yeah. So I'm trying to also want said he lived by the. Okay, that's stupid. I swear, there's people these days that are just insane. Like, I don't know what they're doing and all that. So yeah, and also y'all, and also for some of you that are new to me, I will also show you guys some pics as well of my boyfriend, so you guys also kind of can get to know that side of him too. Oh, and he only has 2 more minutes until he gets off work and all that. Who knows? Who honestly knows why? Let's see, I'm gonna show you some pics of my boyfriend real quick, so you guys can also get an insight of him. I'm gonna go all the way up. Let's see here. Um, I'll show you guys some different pics of my boyfriend so you can see different perspectives of him. Um, but yeah, this is my boyfriend. So for some of you that are new to me, his name is AJ. He and I have been dating for over 2.5 years, almost 3 years in September. I can't even honestly believe that. Just insane. And then to show you some other pics just to give you some perspective of him. Um, let's see. A good pic I have of him that makes me wild. Let's see. Let me see here. And then here's another one of him, but with me in it. This was from like an event a couple months ago. And I literally was like 2 hours away because I mean we're long distance, but and then some other is here too. Another one, another one of us. But I'm not telling you more than just what that is, just so you guys can really get it. Let's see. And then also, um, this one of us. Let's see, what else do I have? That's also see here. And then this one, two of us. Wait, let's go back to that one. Hang on. And then some more I'm gonna show you just to give you guys kind of some good feedback. And I'm also gonna show you guys some like younger pics too, so you guys can see what we look like a little bit younger as well. Let's see. Uh, second. And then so here's another pic too. That's just crazy, y'all. Slide. And then this one. And then this one of him. Can't even. And then um us as well. And then here's this one fun fact, y'all. This was us 4th of July weekend of last year. Because y'all, this was actually his and I's first ever 4th of July together. The year before we were trying to get together, but he had plans he had originally, and so he couldn't come out last year, which kind of sucked, but he came, well, the year before, excuse me, not last year. The year before, but last year he was able to come out and all that. And then also another pic from that day too. Fun fact, I got me and him both matching tees so we can twin. And plus that was also his like late birthday gift for me as well. And for those of you wondering how old we are, I am 20 and he is 19, almost 20. So we're only a year apart in age. So I got, I'm gonna come way back just so you guys can see some younger parts of us too. Hmm. Here's another one. But this was us from Thanksgiving, I think, of last year. I think this was last year or the year before. I need to go back. But I think it was the year before, I think, of us. And then, this one fun fact was on my night was like a few days after my 19th birthday. So AK last year. And then some other ones too. Y'all, like, why do I love this, first of all? It's crazy. Like, y'all, this would be us if we were doing like a family portrait or something. Like the aesthetic. And fun fact, this was in front of her own house door. And so, and he wears glasses. He and I both wear glasses, but his were broken at the time due to something happening to it. I think it was his cat. He told me or something broke them or part of them at least. So some Pixies wear glasses, some he is, but um, and then going, and then let's see, going back a little bit younger. Fun fact: this was us homecoming, senior homecoming, which that's when we first met, by the way, was the week of homecoming, and then also um, let's see, and then this was us senior prom. And y'all, sadly, I transferred schools the second semester of my high school year. So, luckily, I was able to invite my boyfriend to my next school's prom, though. So, thankfully, it didn't feel different around then. And so, it was amazing, though, no matter what. It was so much fun. And then also, um, this was me, him, and one of my friends, aka my best friend. Her name's Asia, but she's really nice. Oh, and he's officially off work 6 minutes ago. So I need to text him a little bit, see how work went. And y'all, this was at my old school, by the way. And y'all, that's crazy. I was only 18 at that time. Like years would definitely have changed since now, which is bonkers to think about. What else have I not showed you guys? Then this was us as well. My mom actually took this of us, but it was actually me and him just talking. I had no idea she even took it, but it actually looks really good though. And it's crazy. But yeah, that's just a little smidget of us. Let me actually stand up for a little bit. But yeah, that's just a little bit of us too, so you also kind of get a little insight on us too, but also y'all kind of know a little bit about him for all my new incoming subscribers because he does get brought up by my returning because they know about him too. And so, let me look through my comments. There you go. He said he lived in the so weird. And I don't know how you would either. But, oh, your dad does? That's cool. Nice. Um, I remembered one of my friends telling me that her dad also worked for Walmart in her area, aka the same area as me, but in like a 2 hour different period from me. Um, yeah, I'll tell you, he's been working at Walmart for, I want to say this is I want to say third, fourth week, I think. I think this is I want to say I need to look and see, but I think it's either third or fourth week at this point. So he's not been working there for that long. And he's a janitor there. It's kind of hot. At the same time, I still can't get a lot of it out of my head, honestly. Actually, I can show you guys. Actually, I'll show you guys the pic from today, actually. Because I have him
Y'all, like how hot he is. I can't even. I can't believe I'm literally dating such a hottie though. But yeah, that's also a pick from today as well. Like for example, um, our jobs. I mean, right now I'm still waiting for mine to. I mean, I've gotten the paperwork process in order for me to know when I'm fully starting. Like for real, because I mean, I know my days I work and times and the days I'm off, but other than that, it's right now for me, it's just filling out the paperwork stuff that's required to do, and then that's when I'll know when I go in for orientation, and then also figure out my actual start date, like the day I actually start working myself next. And so, um, that's pretty cool though. Um, but yeah, my boyfriend works like if you guys are wondering what his shifts looking like and hours like that, y'all, they're crazy. Like, I will say this, my boyfriend works like he works like the sometimes it's kind of like a 2 and 3 kind of shift kind of deal where mainly he works like evenings going into night shift like he works the evening shift almost going into night shift, and then sometimes he's working afternoon shift plus evening going through it's crazy. Like some days he's working afternoon, like late afternoon going into night shift, and then some days he's working evening shift like normal going into night shift. Like today was a evening shift going into night shift like normal. But he does get off days though too. So thankfully he does get at least a day or two off on some occasions, thankfully. So I'm thankful for that. Like I know he's not off until like Sunday. He gets Sunday and Monday off coming up, but not always each week. Unlike me, where I'm off like almost 5 days a week. Raymond, welcome back. How are you doing? Like with me, when I start working, I will be off for like at least 5 days a week almost. At least 4 to 5 days off, which is awesome for me. And so, um, yeah, but right now I'm getting close to where I could be starting soon, but right now the next step that needs to take place is I need to start filling out the paperwork stuff for me in order for me to start. Like that finally came in today. Finally. So finally I got that in my email. So I'm gonna have my dad help me out. So that way if I'm confused on like a question or how to understand something of it, then he can help me. Cause my dad's pretty good about explaining stuff like job related things and understanding questions that are complicated enough to where he would know a good bit about them. And so, um, that's good to hear that you're doing well, Raymond. But yeah, so sometime tomorrow I'll fill that out and then, oh, hopefully y'all at this point we're only about maybe that close, like at least that close away from it being like fully official for me to be actually like for me to actually like start working myself, which I'm excited. Hey Liam, welcome back. But yeah. And so um yeah, so I can't wait and all that. But yeah, so yeah, my dang arm hurts so bad, but it's literally due to the fact that I got blood work done today too. And so it's one of those. But the best part though about it though is I had them do it in my left arm so it wouldn't be nearly as it wouldn't be as bad, but also, you know, I'm not having to worry about a whole lot of arm usage from that, you know? Because mostly everything I do is right hand based and not everything's left handed. That's the best part. Is it's rare that only a couple of things are left handed and all that. And so which it does hurt, but it's kind of what you expect when you get all that done though. So um but yeah. And so yeah, let's go 10 likes in the chat. Hopefully everyone's doing well and all that. I need to put my phone on the charger actually here in just a moment. Um so but yeah. So okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I was plugging my phone in. But yeah, cause y'all, one of the things I did today was I had my annual doctor I had my annual for my primary care physician for my annual checkup to make sure I'm good on everything like you're supposed to do. And I also went ahead and I went in and also addressed and brought up some stuff that I've went that I just need answers on or just need to at least get stuff started. Like for example, some of y'all know that a part of my epilepsy is I've had side effects from dizzy episodes to headaches, and it's made me bonkers for a couple years, and I've just kept an eye on it and see if what it would do and all that because I don't jump to conclusions right away. I just don't, which is actually a good thing because you shouldn't always jump to conclusions right away with every little situation. So I just monitor it and kept an eye on it and see if it would slow down enough where I wouldn't be too concerned, or if it's just gonna progress, and so it just kind of kept going, and so I'm like, you know what, this year's the year that it gets sorted somehow because y'all, with me working a job and all that pretty soon, I don't want to. When I start working, I really don't want to have to be the one coworker out of like a good bit of everyone out of like everyone in the building who's complaining about medical stuff, which I can't control mine. So, and plus it's good to get all that taken care of while you can, at least to where it's manageable. Because, because I'll say this right now, I would rather have at least some of that at a level where it's not that bad, but not to where I'm alarmed by it. I, you know, and so, um, yeah. And so one of the things that my neurologist told me to do was when I went for my annual there is to have them test my labs and all that and see if it could be something within the bloodstream or something that might be causing, or it could be like, because when I went to the neurologist originally before my primary care, which is, I go to a neurologist also every year for my annuals too to make sure that I'm good, my medications and all that. And so, um, yeah, even my neurologist there, he brought up that to have me whenever I went in for my annual checkup was to see if they could test my labs and all that and see if it's either something in the bloodstream that could be, because it could be that either one or both of my medications either have some sort of response within the bloodstream, or it could be something effective with it that might be causing it for me to have side effects. And so, sorry, I'm also erasing my boyfriend's schedule, like today at least of his schedule. Because something what I do, y'all, is I literally have my boyfriend's work schedule up here, so that way it helps me out to keep track of, okay, he works this day, then he's, and in the days that is not on here helps me out to know that, okay, he's off this day and this day, or he's off on this day. Just so my brain doesn't get confused on, okay, you're off these days, and then after that, back at it. And also, it just helps me to know that, okay, this is the day that he works and the time he works from, and if he does have a break at work, these are his break time. This is the break time that he has today, so I'm also aware because, let's say if I had a long day and I was busy, or I just forgot that he worked, then, it helps me out. Just to, because, I don't want to be the girlfriend that forgets, oh shoot, he's working, you know. Do you get bullied on, did you get bullied in school? Um, I mean, I will say this. Probably once in elementary. And the story behind that was it was one day, I forgot what grade, but it was like early elementary though, like first, second, or third grade. Anywhere between first to third grade timeline, I think is what it was. I can't remember the exact number. But it was either first, second, or third grade. One day I was in the library minding my own business, and these three boys approached me and just asked me just a normal general question, like anyone does. And they asked dog breed, what kind of dog did I have, aka breed of dog. And at the time I had Maverick, which some of y'all know, I told you the story a few minutes ago about, which he's my childhood dog who passed this year. And I told them that I had a Shih Tzu, and y'all, I'll tell you this. When I told them that I had a Shih Tzu, y'all, these boys, these boys' crazy minds literally thought I said the freaking S word to them. When reality is, I did not, y'all. And even I don't know why the original places that the breeds are from spell it and then make them and also make it sound like it's saying a cuss word when it's not. You know, it's ridiculous. And so, um, and so when I told them that I had a Shih Tzu, the librarian at my school that I went to overheard everything. And luckily, I was not the one in trouble because I didn't do anything. I was just stating a fact to them. And luckily, all three of those boys got in trouble for good because of what they did. But luckily, they wrote an apology letter and gave it to me by the end of the year. And then after that, in elementary school, we were friends after that. And so, yeah, it was crazy of a story there. I will tell you that in school. I think otherwise, I think that was the only time in school, I think, that I ever remember getting bullied for any reason of any kind. But yeah, so um yeah, but that's what's going on there though, y'all. So um yeah, hang on y'all. But yeah, so anyway, um but yeah, it was crazy. And so um but yeah, and so basically um yeah, that's literally what um that's really me answering your question there. But yeah, hang on, but yeah. Human hair's a crazy mess. I'll say that real quick. But um yeah, and so anyway, that's what's but yeah, that's what I literally got bullied for back in school, but it was like over a freaking silly statement. Yeah, it was really though over a stupid and silly kind of question. I don't know why some people can bully others like that to where, hey, you're just asking a normal question about a fact or about something in your life that you know about yourself that you only know, but some people know about it, but not every person knows and all that. And so, um, yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So, um, oh, I do see someone just came on my trap. Hey there. Why why are you so late? Hmm? I mean, right now I'm just hanging out with y'all, but all the things. But um, well, first of all, it's literally because I'm an adult, aka I'm 20, and I'm not really having to really be up late. Well, being up for anything the next day and all that. So that's why I'm up right now, just hanging out and all that. Like right now, I'm refixing my hair at the moment, and just switching it from the just switching my hair tie out from the hair tie that's currently been in all day to one that's a little lighter and not nearly as tight towards me, but yeah, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and so yeah, because I'm not really having to be up for really anything. Oh my god, sorry, I spelled So we're gonna do like this. So hang on, y'all. Sorry, a clip fell down my back of my dress and I was trying to grab it. So that's what was happening there, y'all. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take and it's ready to bed. I'm gonna turn it on. Yes. Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad that you came in though and said hey though. Open to second person in the chat. Oh, that's cool. I know my boyfriend takes it a lot. Cause when he's the times he's came over and hung out with me, um, when really we are busy with a whole lot. And when we can actually make time to, he usually does. He's usually having to take those too. I'm not really having to because I don't really have like severe trouble with me falling asleep and all that. But um but I've heard some crazy things I feel like lately about melatonin being used or something. I don't know. Or stuff about it. I feel like. But sorry, I was taking this hair tie out just way stretched. But it's one of those um like spiral ones that almost look like they could be one of the ones that not really. And so I switched that one out for, but I just switched that one out for my comfortable scrunchie, which is not like super tight to where it's sectioning my head like crazy. But yeah, I figured I'd give a reaction I liked the page earlier. Thanks. Thanks, I very appreciate it. But yeah, so but yeah, though. That's just what's happening there, though. But yeah, and so, um, but yeah, Aria, welcome back. But yeah, y'all, we're just hanging out like we've been doing and all that. But yeah, so, but yeah, we're just chilling at the moment. So, yeah. Yo, let's go 10 likes in the chat. But yeah. The I and my name is pronounced I. Alright, okay. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. So, um, yeah. But yeah. And so, anyway. Yeah. Okay. Jared. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, I see it. Oh, who knows? I don't know either. But yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna attempt again without me trying to blow George. I don't try to do, but I do my best. But Ari, that's probably what I was thinking. I just said that. Hopefully, I just did that right. I think I did. But take it out. And so, right. Anyway, and also, Jared, thank you for letting me know yours, so that way it helped me out too. I really do appreciate for those of you that do that y'all. Let's say if anyone in my chat specifically, let's say I'm reading your current name on here, but let's say your name is something totally different, or your preferred something totally different. Let me know so I can remember that for future live streams and all that, because I don't want to try to butcher anyone's name accidentally or not, because but um yeah, and I blends. Right. Okay. Right. All right. I think that means I don't try to blend it. R and I blends together. Okay. I usually get mistaken for an Indian guy. It's kind of funny to get Indian racism thrown at me. Oh, really, Jared? That's crazy. I'm sorry to definitely hear about that though. But yeah, I'm glad that you addressed it so that way it helps me out. Because, even let's say if I can't tell if I can't read someone's name or if their name's something totally different, I just do the closest thing I can read until it gets addressed at me. So that way, when I see them in the future, it goes, okay, hey, so and so, than me not trying to butcher, which I don't want to do that to anyone. I really don't, you know, which I'm trying not to be that person in real life. And so it's good to definitely let me know. Really? But anyway, y'all, let's go 10 likes in the chat. Definitely killing it in the chat for sure. And all that. And so, um, but yeah. Okay, the R and I blend. Any hues? We're gonna keep leaving it back. It's okay there, Liam. If there's something you have to do, it's totally fine. Trust me. A lot of us in this chat get it. Because some of us are adults, some of us are teens in here, and we have stuff that we do a lot. So trust me. I totally get it. You know? Um, you think I come on here to troll? I Oh, okay. Well, thank you for giving me the heads up that I am not about to be warned and all that. But yeah, you're 11. That's cool. Nice and all that. Mm, that's cool, Jared. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, we're just hanging out at the moment, so just keep doing what we're doing. So, um, yeah, yeah. How old do you see? That's Jared, to answer your question. I mean, it kind of varies. Like, sometimes I mean, I can see without them for only about a couple minutes, and then after that, it just it starts to fuzz out. Like, for example, I really can't see a whole lot far away, and all that. And so, um, like, let's see, let's show an example right now. Like, an example, I kind of can see a little bit. Like, right now, I look like I'm looking straight at the camera. Ugh, that looks so weird. Mind the front. Anyway, this is kind of an example. Like, right now, I look like I'm seeing straight. Like, I can see myself straight to the camera, but to give it a couple minutes to really show you. Like, right now, I can see the chat a little bit, but not like to where it's like fully, but I'm gonna give it like another minute to really, wow. And so, yeah. Goodness, why do I look like a whale? Oh my god. Anyway, but you, you're the, but, yeah, okay, so here we go. Here's now an example. So now, for example, when I go to look at the chat, like everything in front of me starts to blur out just a little bit, like fuzzy, kind of like a way. So, for example, I'm looking straight at y'all right now, but when I look down, like from here though, from my perspective, it's almost like y'all's writing in the chat is almost like a lot more. It's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller, but it's also a lot more blurrier. But when I put these back on, it's normal. And so it's only for like the first couple minutes I can really handle without them. But then after that, it's like, okay, these are going back on because they're making me crazy. And plus, I also have a lazy eye right here. And so I try to wear these just to correct it a little bit. And so, um, but yeah, and so, yeah. Anyway, um, but yeah, it's pretty crazy there. Hey there, James, I can tell that you're new. And also, Michael, I mean, Liam, sorry, my brain's going crazy. Liam, I'm just seeing your chat on here. You're the best live streamer. Thanks, I appreciate it. Um, sorry, my site went blank for like 2 seconds. So that's kind of what it just did. And so a lot was happening at once. So excuse me there. But, I caught myself in that moment. Maybe your other senses will get better without the glasses. Like Dread Evil, I think you should give up on vision and start using Snore. Let's give that comment. James. Eh, Liam like the stream. GG, okay. But, yeah. Okay, now I can actually see what's going on. But yeah, now you guys saw a good demonstration of what my vision does. And like, and y'all, and also, for example, y'all, my boyfriend wears glasses too, and y'all, with him, I've noticed there's moments where he can act. For some reason, with his, I'm kind of shocked he can last a little bit longer than I can, which is actually impressive. Like, there's moments where he has them off for like a little bit, for like maybe a couple minutes, and then he puts them directly back on. And I can honestly, I can never even like like I wish my vision was that decentable where it could last that long, but it just doesn't for me. But yeah, and so um oh really, that's crazy. Let's go 10 likes in the chat. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, and so um yeah, it's wild. And so um but yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. So um yeah. Hang on, get up. Hang on, let me get my oh, 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 that's it. Let's do it. Sorry, I'm taking my first round of my meds, so that way, that's covered and all that, and so yeah, which that's important. So anyway, good luck with your stuff on YouTube. I'm gonna go. All right, Jared. I'm glad that you came in here though, and thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're just chilling though, y'all, at the moment. But um, yeah, we're just hanging out, chilling. But yeah, so um, yeah, But yeah, right now I'm just relaxing at the moment. And so, yeah. And then sometime in the next hour, so probably close to 1-ish or so, um, is when I'll probably do my second round of meds, aka my epileptic medication. Because I literally take two different medications just to help with my seizures and all that and help manage them in a way. Even though it makes me have side effects, but right now that's what literally like I said, but I will say this though. Right now, what matters at the moment is it helps my seizure prevention though. That's one thing it does though. But, you know, at least I did the first step today though by getting my blood and all that done today at my appointment. And so hopefully in a few days, hopefully I'll know and all that for sure. Um, I'll know for sure. Um, all the things and all that. But, um, and so, um, yeah. But, um, yeah. But anyway, that's what's going on there. But, um, yeah. So, we're just hanging out at the moment. But anyway, um, but I probably am gonna here in a minute or so will get off. Cause I mean, y'all, I've been on here for a good hour, and I also need to check in to see how my boyfriend's day at work went since he worked today and all that and all the things. So, um, yeah, and just to kind of real fast, I will give a big shout out to those of you who came in here and helped out and did all the things today. I very appreciate it a whole lot. And I will next be on the next day I will be live next is Thursday next. So I will see a good bit of you guys back here on Thursday sometime. So